Hey everybody, this is Kyle. A year ago in February of 2021, I released an album. A year before that, in February of 2020, I started releasing a song a month off that album, leading up to the eventual release. Let's talk about it. First things first, releasing a musical album anymore isn't that good of an idea. But in the fall of 2019, I was performing a lot, playing my music and cover songs, just doing a lot of gigs before the whole world changed in 2020. I had a good network of venues and places where I play, and I could set up a release show, have CDs there, sell things, and do my best to break even. And usually the fee of that gig and then whatever sales I can make the couple months leading up to that, the month after, that would be enough to cover the cost of the album. So in the fall of 2019, I was thinking, I don't know if I really want to do an album again, maybe the year after. And then I won some recording time in Nashville. And Nashville is about a 5-hour drive, give or take a little bit. And if you speed, you can get there a little quicker. But it's about a 5-hour drive from St. Louis. So I drove to Nashville, did some partial recording on 3 songs, and then drove back that same day. And then I started thinking, well, maybe I should. And so I started looking at my songs over the next couple weeks. And by December 1st of 2019, I decided, hey, I'm going to release an album, but I want to do something different. And I started thinking and I realized the #1 music platform on the planet is YouTube. I should try on YouTube. I should really try to take YouTube seriously, get my music out there, and see what happens. So I started this whole idea that starting in February, I was going to release a song a month on YouTube, leading up to an eventual release in 2021, and see if I could build some momentum and then do weekly videos in the meantime, just to support the whole original music idea. And to go along with that, I had a tour plan leading up to this. I thought it'd be cool to have all these things going on and see if that had an impact where this release happened. Blood Candy is my 4th release where I'm singing. Each time I'd release an album, though, I would learn as I go. My actual budgeted costs actually decreased over time. I think my first album was somewhere like around $1,000. This one, I budgeted $514.50. Now, looking at what I budgeted for and my actual expenses and things were a little bit different. I actually ended up spending $353.42 to make Blood Candy. Now, I need to mention what is not included. I mentioned I won some recording time in Nashville. Now, all that was free, except for the drive there, getting food to and from, and the drive back and all that stuff. That cost money, and I did not include any of that. At the time, I was thinking, I'm not even going to release an album. To recoup the money for Blood Candy, I was mainly going to rely on playing live shows. Well, as we know, the world changed early on in 2020, so I had to come up with some different strategies. There's one gig that I had around the time of this release, so I counted that. I counted 3 months of Patreon. There were a couple people that overpaid a little bit to help me out. Thank you very, very much. Had a shirt sale on Teespring, and then through personal connections, people I worked with, people I just knew in person, and a few people off YouTube, I had some pre-sales that helped out. Now, totaling all this up, I did break even. But you could probably say, including that gig is a little iffy, and I get that. But when you run yourself as a business, you have to make those choices. Which income streams go to which expenses? And that's part of the accounting aspects of business that, some people don't like or don't feel comfortable with. Now, as I was getting this video ready, I thought of one thing, an income stream I didn't really think of. On YouTube, I didn't get monetized until after the release of Blood Candy. And so all the views on the videos and things didn't really do anything. But since I did get monetized after, I decided to look. And hey, don't be too jealous, but $2.32 is what the official videos earned. And hey, when you're looking at cost, breaking even, $2.32 does help. So the big question here, was it worth it? Well, it's hard to say because how 2022 changed If I would have been playing live gigs, if that had not been interrupted, I probably would have had a whole different story to tell. But honestly, I probably wouldn't be as active online and trying as hard as I am to grow my Spotify and grow my Patreon like I am now. And that is one thing looking back. I was not at all taking Spotify serious. I think I may have been making like 5 cents a month on Spotify. Now, some great things that happened by putting my music out on YouTube so far. I've met an incredible artist, Deeves, and he did the cover art. It was an illustration I already had. On the CD, there's cover art, and then there's different artwork inside that he drew. I see his artwork, and it just makes sense to me. It feels like something, it's like, that's almost like how I think, and I really admire, his skill and talent. So, hey, Deeves, if you're watching this, you are awesome. Another cool thing is there for a while in 2020, connecting with a lot of people. Now, fortunately, since most of the planet was at home for a couple months and didn't have a lot to do, yeah, that was helpful. I'm not gonna lie or ignore that was a thing. In 2021, since I added some different types of content, my audience shifted and stuff like that, I'm trying in 2022 to refocus on all this original content and, more importantly, the original music and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Now, currently, I'm promoting a new album, Mask, and that is going to be my last album for the foreseeable future. In the summer of 2022, I'm moving to monthly music releases, and I have releases planned for almost the year whenever I start that, because I'm always thinking ahead, and I like to be prepared. Now, some insight for any indie artists watching this. I know the big advice is don't do albums, just do singles and things like that. And it's daunting because if you've not released music before, you gotta think, which songs do I pick? What do I do? And you might also be thinking economically. It's easier to spend $80 to get your music distributed worldwide, all these platforms. And that one-time fee might be a whole lot more manageable than thinking I'm paying yearly and then I have to pay a legacy fee if I don't want to keep paying yearly, and you have all these other considerations. One thing I would like to share with any indie artist, truly consider Spotify. Spotify is way better than I imagined. And if you want me to make some videos talking about ways to approach music as a business and things like that, how to, manage what you do with your art so you at least break even, let me know, because that's something I am able to do for myself. You can find my album Blood Candy here on YouTube. I have videos for every song. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all those places where you can find music online. It's even on Pandora, but you got to have a paid membership to Pandora to get it to stream for you. And thanks to my patrons. On my Patreon, I have acoustic and live looping versions where I'm performing these songs for every song off this Blood Candy album. That's why I did instead of a release. So, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.